Rolling. All right. Okay.
So, Sean, today is Keith's 40th birthday.
Oh, no kidding.
And yes, that's why we're celebrating, and it's been splendid. And they came over for my 60th birthday 2 years ago. But I'll let them tell you how we met.
You can tell he's turning 40.
So, who wants to say how we met, you guys can. I know the story, but
I'll let Keith.
Keith probably knows more about how fate brought us together.
Well, I'm just checking. I remember the exact night because I wrote everywhere we stayed. So, by the way, I'm not phoning anyone. I'm checking.
Oh, I get it. Yes.
So, when did we do 66? 2014, wasn't it?
Right.
So,
12 years ago. 12 years ago,
Yeah.
the first time. Yeah.
So the first time we met Steve would have been on Tuesday, the 7th of October, 2014. We rolled into Farmersville. And basically, I was driving at the time, parked up, and we parked up where the basketball court is, right opposite Uptown Saloon. I just thought it's a bit out in the open, a bit exposed. Thought, right, okay, first time in America, you've heard a few stories. I didn't feel comfortable, so funneled through the corner, found Steve's place, a bit more sheltered. Thought, right, let's just park here. Let's go in and ask if we can stay the night. And that was a little bit of twist of fate, because if we'd not, we'd have drank in Uptown and never met this lad. But yeah, we ended up.
We should have stayed on
Uptown.
Beautiful, brilliant.
And yeah, ended up drinking Steve's apple shots.
Apple pie.
And ended up polishing off quite a good bit of an 18-year-old Glenlivet with Steve and the locals. And yeah, pretty much ended the night very, very drunk.
And then, and we didn't know if we'd ever meet again. And then they kind of kept in contact with one of the girls that attended bar, and they said, "Hey, we really want to talk to Steve again." And I didn't have Facebook at the time, and neither did the bar. So I ended up getting Facebook, got back in contact with them, and they came back again, and we enjoyed ourselves. And we showed them the American way, like I told you last time. How we do things, and yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like the rest is history.
We came back 8 years later. Was it 8 years?
Yeah, 2022.
Done a bit shooting. Done a bit drinking. Went on the Jeeps with...
Yeah.
I can't remember that boy's name.
Oh, Sean Webb. We went out in Sean Webb's Jeep.
He took us in Jeeps, almost ripped them off. Well, I did.
Yeah.
And I had a good few times on fishing and that. And then went back again 2 years after that for Steve's 60th.
Well, and I think the neat thing here is going to Farmersville. I know when people look at their countries, I know a lot of people would like to say, "Hey, we're more than Edinburgh or Edinburgh and Glasgow." There's a whole lot more country to discover, and I guess Farmersville's kind of the same thing, not just Route 66 thing with a big sign and a muffler man, as we call it, like the 15-foot tall statue. I imagine it was kind of neat to get the real flavor of 66 when you went.
We were in, obviously, Chicago. 66 starts in Chicago, so we were there previous, and we just found it really expensive, and everybody was rude. They wouldn't speak to you until you come out of Chicago. You get the smaller cities, the smaller towns, a lot more friendlier. Beer's a lot more cheaper, food's a lot more cheaper, but the people are just a lot friendlier. It's the same here. You go to Glasgow, you go to Edinburgh, it's just strangers, but if you go to a small town, you get to meet some friends.
And what did you find that felt like home in Farmersville? I mean, you say Scotland and people picture the townspeople and close bonds and not knowing a stranger. Did you find something that felt like home there?
I found that it was just everything. That we found the local bar, found Steve, and then the first time, obviously, we only stayed the one night, but that was our first proper little sample of like small town America, which we were wanting to do 66 for. And then we hit some other major cities and then hit the small towns and went, right, these are what we're over here for. That's why we're doing 66. But because we met people like Steve and Rory and the bar staff that were there at the time, because we hit it off so well, when we came back again, we thought, right, we have to go back to Farmersville. And then it was like a little parade the second time when we came out, that everyone sort of came out. And then we ended up that we didn't enjoy the next 2 days of doing Route 66 because we missed Farmersville. We just wanted to go back. And we were crying, and it was the hardest thing we've done. And then it got back, and we got, okay, we're here for 66, not just a Farmersville holiday, but because we were made to feel so welcome, and you felt like a local, no matter where you went, it felt like a home from home, to be fair.
And when they left, Sean, I cried for the whole day. It was a Friday when they left, and I cried on my deck, and we all made our tears. And then, it's like I went home, and of course we'd had quite a few cocktails over the week, and so my body was worn. But yeah, I went home.
You were hurting.
Yeah, I was hurting, and so I went home and I went to sleep. And like I said, because I had pretty much cried myself to sleep, and Tammy comes over, and it's Friday and it's fish night. And I'm in bed until 5 o'clock. And Tammy came to the house and she said, "Are you going to get up and go to work?" And it took everything out of me to go and not think about these guys. That for forever. That's all I can say.
I think that on a different note from there, I think the reason that we knew that we were going to be like such good friends was me being a little bit geekier than Andy. I kept a journal of every day that I wrote something every day that we did 66. So I ended up reading it back when we were over for Steve's 60th. And it's the only place that I wrote that where we'd made friends for life. But we met a heap of other good people on 66, but no one and nobody like Steve, Tammy, and the rest of Farmersville that just managed to just kind of get you just kind of by the heartstrings. And it was the only place out of the whole 3 weeks that we went that you'd say that we would go back for without doing 66. I haven't done 66 since, but we've been back for...
Well, we'll be back for a week.
Yeah.
For Steve's 60th without doing 66.
And we enjoyed, like I said, I knew what they enjoyed doing at that time, and I'm like, they came in, and we went, and we went out and enjoyed ourselves with burning a little powder and shooting some guns and just kind of showing them. And like I said, I felt good that all they wanted to do was spend time with me and Tammy and the Caddy Shack. That it was amazing.
I think what makes it brilliant for us as well is the fact that we've now been over for Steve's birthday and he's over for mine. And that was that one chance meeting that for anything else that could have aligned in the world at the time could have went completely different. And then when we came back the second time, it could have been completely different. But that one chance meeting has been
We stayed at
12
Caddy
years,
Shack
right?
that night. If we stayed at Uptown, we stayed in the moving car park,
None of this would be happening.
we would have just drunk at Uptown.
Yeah.
And I feel like he said, when I met him, I knew I met friends for life.
100%.
Well, you wish the world would pay attention to this, huh? When you hear young people, I don't leave the house. I sit and play video games and watch screens all day. The value of friendship and laughter and sharing each other's experiences. If you're not making that a part of your life, you're missing out.
Yeah, exactly. And like right now, we're sitting there having his birthday party, and we got Granny, we got moms and all them and the kids, and it's been brilliant.
When me and Keith first decided to do 66, we were sitting in our local pub here, but we decided to do it without sat-nav. So we did it with, once we got to Chicago, we went to Target and we got ourselves an atlas. So
And the Bible.
there was
Not the
a
Bible.
Route 66 book called the Bible, and we did it with that. So we got lost about 100 times in the first 2 days. So that really tested our friendship. And once we got to Springfield, we went to Lincoln's Memorial, Lincoln's grave, and rubbed his nose. And then after that, we found the beer cave, we met Steve, and then we never got lost for the next 2 weeks. So we thought that gave us a bit of luck as well.
Yeah, and they, on that note too, you guys, I lost kind of my mind, but yeah, I don't know how else to say it.
It's a crappy story, yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing
You could
story.
literally write a book on it.
Yeah, and these guys over here, they have treated me and Tammy like family, like gold. I couldn't ask for one. That I told them this ain't going to be our last time over here.
Boy, the love of 66 in Scotland. Now, I realize we're not talking about a Hawaiian island or a Japanese island. It's sizable, but, considering you have that vicious monster called the North Sea next to you, is there a sense of island fever sometimes, and that's part of the lure of 66?
66 is just like the American dream. The minute you go to California, but you're always drip fed it over here, the American dream. So when we spoke about it, I met Keith years ago, and we were speaking about it, and it's just the American dream. Just you go to California and see what it's like. So just the open road and see what. And brilliant. But even when we went to, we started off in Chicago, but it's Sears Towers. What's Sears Tower called now?
Willis Tower.
Willis Tower. We asked for some directions for the security guard there. I never heard it. He goes, where are you going? Because we're doing Route 66. Well, it starts just behind there. But he was like, oh, no, you would take the I-10, then the I-55. And
Yeah.
we were like, he's never heard it, but we've heard it all the way over here. But he never had a clue what it was.
Nah, he thought we were just speaking in like a different language.
He was like, oh, we were looking for Route 66. He's like, oh, which road do you want to take? 66. He goes, you would take I-55. Then is it I-55?
He had no clue.
Yeah, I think
He
it's
had no clue.
it's either it's one of the two. But I remember you saying because he wasn't getting it, and you just went California.
He never gets a clue. Because we're going to LA, we're going to Santa Monica. No, you would take the highway. No, we would take 66.
And I in fact, when I've been over here now, I don't remember where we're going. Me and Keith were in the van, and I asked him how him and Andy had met, and he said this tavern had closed, so they met in a local tavern again, and they said to each other, "Hey, this is our bucket list. We want to do Route 66," and they both said to each other, and barely knowing each other for a year, maybe 2 years. They said, that will test our friendship.
Make or break, we said, with it.
Yeah, make or break our friendship. And obviously it survived.
We hate each other now.
And Sean, I say, these guys are the kings of Route 66.
Wow. Route 66, it really, I guess that's a neat thing. I said that, like, I see a movie about France and suddenly, or Italy, and wow, here's a film where it's actually not in Paris, not in Rome. And, I love getting that perspective. And I guess that's a great thing I'm talking about 2 hours of film, but I guess that's a great thing about 66. You see the highs, the Willis Tower, Sears Tower, I can't call it Willis Tower. And you see the charm. Yeah, and you see the charm of small town America. Was it even better than you expected?
Oh, it blew my mind. I'd only seen and read bits about 66 and thought, from pictures and seeing Billy Connolly do it, who made it look way easier than it is. But that was probably a good thing that we'd seen that it was easier. Yeah. So when we got some of that highs and then getting lost, some of the lows and things like that, but it just meant as soon as we landed, we're in Chicago, and I kind of thought, oh man, we maybe made a mistake here. This is a little bit not how I imagined it would be. And then coming out of the city, it's like, wow, it's just like home. People treat you with a bit more respect. People have a lot more time for you. And then that was the whole route, though. It wasn't as much as we loved Farmersville. Everywhere, like we went to like other small towns. We went to a town in Texas, Vega, and it ended up being an absolutely brilliant night. And they had a little bar that we ended up getting like brilliant crack with. Not as much as you, don't get jealous.
Oh no! Hey, I want.
Should have really hot bartender and work.
Hey, you gotta have one of that.
Little
twang.
Yeah.
But everywhere we went in like small towns, just made us feel really, really welcome.
Some of the places like Seligman,
Yeah,
Williams, they're like all Route 66 there. Or Seligman is just, it's bigger than Farmersville, but all there is just all retro Route 66, like back to 70s, 60s. Williams,
wait, as I say, Williams was the last one that we were at.
Williams is the one
Stage, yeah.
that way to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
That's the same. But it's all wee places like that. Get the money back. What's the ghost town? Rio. Grand Rio.
Oh, yeah.
Grand Rio.
Aye.
That was like the ghost town.
Glen Rio, that's it. Glen Rio, yeah.
Glen Rio, went to see that. But it's all these three places that have sort of been revitalised because of 66.
And then when you see Glen Rio, you go, the interstate, how much it has killed it. And that's why I think we appreciate 66 more.
Right.
But there's so many towns that you would bypass. Like
They're ghost towns now.
we missed a lot doing it with the Atlas. And
One
then
person stays in it.
that's the one that we. That is Glen Rio, yeah.
Glen Rio's one with the one
With the
person
one
that's staying in it.
But the second time, we were a little bit luckier because we ended up downloading this sat nav, but it was a Route 66 sat nav. And we ended up seeing so many more small towns. But you'd seen that the devastation that the interstate had caused. But when we were doing it, we were on the interstate, on 66, the first time. So you were kind of on and off. This time, we were pretty much constantly on it. And you're going, there's no point stopping here. There is literally nothing. And you realise then, you go, right, you're like Andy says, you are just drip-fed little bits. And it looks so glamorous. And then you are driving through it going, this was people's livelihoods. It's not just like a TV show that we're watching going, oh, Billy Connolly's going, oh, this is a little bit rubbish, this, eh? It's a bit of a shame. And then you're looking going, it's people lost their jobs, people lost their livelihoods, their houses, their mortgage. And it's devastating to see just what one massive highway can do.
Right. Like Sean, they just tore down Arts. And that was a staple of Route 66,
Oh, Arts and it's like the motel. Yeah, I might just say
they tore that all down, and I mean, you think about it, Sean. That's kind of devastating. Like he said, that was people's livelihood.
And I know this country, we have the history, especially, 100 years ago, like the mine went dry, and a company would own the mine. They'd own the houses for the miners. They'd own the businesses. And then all of a sudden they announced the mine's gone. Goodbye, everybody. And everything's gone. And the town would rot. Is that something that you see in Scotland? Because I know obviously there's certainly mining's been a part of Scotland's history.
My father was a miner. He was a coal miner back in the 80s on my farm then. That was destroyed when the coal mines closed. But we actually met another boy. He was up in, he was near Oakman, Arizona, Topok. And all about there was gold mines. And he says back in the day it was really busy. But now, like, Oakman is just like, they've got their burrows, as they call it, the donkeys just going about. And it's just, that's another story. It's not a ghost town. They've got tourists from Route 66, but they were a gold mining place.
Because of that Oakman Pass, that's the only reason that people go there, though. You can tell, because otherwise that place is, because it's getting bypassed all day long. Yeah. But people doing 66, it'll be fine.
Right.
But yeah,
And like that, Sean. I think that's where America's behind. We may be ahead in technology and everything else, but we've lost what we were founded on.
Well, it's amazing what we abandon. A lot of concrete and steel just
Exactly.
rotting. I know you come here, and is there a certain joy in making people understand Scotland? Because sometimes people like, well, let's see, that's the Loch Ness Monster place, and this and that,
That's
and great
real.
golf
Seen it.
courses. And there's so much more than that.
We gave you Donald Trump. Sorry.
And don't edit that.
All right, it's a deal. Yeah,
You know what?
And what
They
if,
told me it wasn't real, but I seen it today. The
Wow.
Loch Ness Monster. I seen a little hump in the water somewhere.
well, it's just got to be neat to learn things you didn't know about Americans, and then kind of set people straight about or educate them about Scotland. I imagine that's a lot of the fun in these travels.
That's good. There's loads of cultural differences between them both, but we all love beer, so we've all got the same result in the end.
Kind of like they said at the World Cup: no party, no Scotland, no party.
Oh. Well, you already put up with my Connery impersonation. Do you put up with stuff like that, or people doing the William Wallace thing and saying not every man dies, not every man lives?
I don't think we found anything like that. The only thing I find is like the misconception is that everyone wears kilts everywhere that they go and sings like Highland songs. And the only other thing that I find is that everyone's got a cousin or a great aunt that they know. They're all related, and they must think that we live in like a third world country with only like two people. It's like, oh yeah, what's your name? Oh, mine's Simpson. Oh right, yeah. So do you know McGregor down the road? Well, nah, because down the road's in Glasgow. It's like 180 miles away. So no, I don't quite know him. But oh, my great grandson's fifth cousin was a cabman from Glasgow, and you're like, right, okay, that's not quite how it works over here.
Hey, when I got over, Sean, I didn't realize they had color TV.
Everybody you speak to asks if you know John Smith. There's 5.5 million Scottish people.
All called John Smith.
Well, being from a land known for lush greenery, what was it like, when you go out to Oklahoma, Texas, and just seeing the part of the country was hit by the Dust Bowl nearly a century ago? I can imagine it's tough. It was tough on these eyes when I almost took a job in Texas. What's it like what's it like seeing all of that?
New Mexico for me was the most scenic.
Yeah.
When you go into New Mexico, the land just completely changed, and it was weird.
New Mexico, Arizona was just.
It was absolutely beautiful. Then, when you go to the trains and you're trying to count the carriages of the trains, and you can stop and have like 2 cigarettes, and you're still not at the end of the train, and you're on about 110 carriages. It's all double deckers.
Yeah.
That fucking blows your mind when you come up to Scotland. Well, especially the Highlands, and you go two carriages. That takes you from Inverness to Aberdeen. And you guys, and you understand how the hillbillies could get on with their banjos and start playing and go from one end of the country to another. But that sort of blew my mind.
Yeah, that got us the first time. That was the second time as well, wasn't it?
That was, man, them trains
And
are crazy.
that's why I call them the King's Route 66. They've done it twice. And then, like I said, when they flew over for my 60th, it was golden. I mean, I couldn't ask for more,
Yeah. Well,
And we're friends for life.
everything they've added, the murals and the signs. How much you enjoy that, and snapping a picture, sending it back across
Where was it? We were Pontiac.
The murals inside of Pontiac were unbelievable. You walk about there, and then there was an old boy used to live in a bus at Pontiac.
Yeah.
And you did a tour of that, and his memorabilia was unbelievable. But Pontiac's a really nice place. Every gable end's done with like murals, and that's another place you'd probably bypass if 66. It's sort of a museum for 66 is Pontiac.
Yeah.
You'd probably bypass it if there wasn't all that there. Whereas years ago, that would be part of the main route.
Yeah, I remember watching a TV show and it was on 66. I think it was only like one or two hotels now. And you think, but that would have been thriving back then. And it is. It's like sad to see, but it's. And the flip side to that, it's still good that we went in and that it's still being preserved, so that there's people. Obviously, we've met people that haven't got a clue what 66 is, but there is still people out there preserving the name of it and trying to get people in. And I think from the second time that we did it, it's definitely took a resurgence.
It's good busier.
So that's.
I think it's taken a surge in the last 2 years,
Yeah.
3 years. I mean, it's like we take advantage of it, Sean. Like his wife said, you always forget what's right there on your doorstep. And me and you drive it every day and never think about it. You know, when you're going down the east-west frontage road, we don't think about that, you know.
Well, we thought about that the last time that when we were doing it, and we were thinking that there was a lot of times, but some of them, like your bar and other shops, they weren't advertising the fact that they were on 66. And it's like, just do it. It's on your doorstep. Like today, we took Steve and we did the local whiskey tour, and it's literally 7-8 minutes from my house, and I've never done it because it's on my doorstep. And we took Steve to do it. But yeah, 66 bypasses through some of these places, and they don't advertise saying like thrift shop or bar on 66. And they should, but then you do, because I'm taking where I live for granted. You're a bit the same. You take for granted that you're on 66 and just don't think of it as a thing.
Yeah, like they did the first time they came, they did the Abe Lincoln Museum and the home and all that. And to us, you know, like I was telling them earlier, that was more of a school field trip for us. And once you've seen it, you were over, and it shouldn't be, you know. It's part of our heritage and it's part of our life. And
Oh boy, and that's an interesting thing, you know. And I hear it once in a while, but the legend of Abe Lincoln, I guess it's kind of like, you know, there are some people known in leadership around the world, certainly Churchill, and I guess despite the fact he wasn't involved in a world war, Abraham Lincoln has that kind of worldwide name recognition and interest.
yeah,
Well, we gave his nose a rub and he gave us good luck.
So he's a good man in my eyes.
So we like it. We found a beer cave, we found Steve, and we never got lost for 2 weeks after him. So he gave us good luck.
I like that dude.
What, talking about Caddyshack, what'd you love off the menu? I know the chicken's legendary. Anything that hit home off the menu?
Steve went to cook for me.
yeah. And there's a story, and I'll let Andy tell you.
We had at Dixie's truck stop the first day we went into Caddyshack. So we were full. We had all you can eat for like $10. So we went into Steve's, and it was like,
That was when you pulled in the parking lot.
we pulled in the very first night. So Steve was like, can we park here? I'm like, yeah, no problem. So parked up, had a few beers. So I let Steve clean all his grill up. Everything was closed, and he was sitting down for a beer, and I'm going, any chance I can have a burger? And in his American way, that everything's really happy. You can see by his face he wasn't happy, but he still said, yes, sir, no problem. But I was only pulling his piss out. Because I'm only winding you up, Paul.
And you know, and Sean, I can't always keep my emotions behind me.
So the next time we come back, I think Tommy made me a meatloaf, which was absolutely beautiful, and I think Steve made me chicken wings for about 10 days solid.
Andy likes his chicken wings.
I love chicken wings.
And Keith loves the Reubens.
Reuben, that's it. Oh my days, man. A Reuben. Wow, yeah, that's the best sandwich I've ever tasted in my life, man.
I don't know if they ever tried a horseshoe or a pony, did they?
No, I just seen the Reuben and went, that's got my name on it.
The bush tastes good, and Steve's Keith likes the stag.
Stag beer, yeah. Oh, well, I could get enough of that.
No, there's a stag beer salute. That's cool. The
Oh yeah, stag beer, man. I would drink that all day. I'd have that breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Steak, taters, and gravy.
Yeah.
Diabetic friendly too, if you ever get diabetic, which I hope you don't or aren't.
I'm good.
That's-
Diabetes.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the stag story, but not that I don't think I don't think they designed it that way. It just happened. But another thing is Scottish life. It's like people being shocked, like Ireland, like St. Patrick's Day was not a big thing in Dublin, and I know people just imagine.
Used to be a big
That's-
thing in Boston.
Isn't that something? There's no place like that, is there? I'll tell you, the bagpipes. People just people love bagpipes, and I know there's nothing more powerful like at law enforcement, funerals, what have you. But are the bagpipes as big of a deal in Scotland as we believe?
Yeah, but they're just not played everywhere you go that some Americans think. So I don't walk out my house, go to work in the morning and play the bagpipe. Let's fucking go! You're gonna get me through the game.
No.
The comedian we watched, you guys showed me, and he said, what did he say about the bagpipes?
Danny Boy. Yeah, I can't even remember what he said.
Something about like they're like screaming or whining baby or whatever.
You play them when you go to football. Or you play them like in the big cities for like a busker.
And weddings.
You play them at weddings, funerals, but yeah, you'll not just play them on a Monday morning. Just to get yourself right up for it.
Getting ready to go to work.
Just having our whiskey with our cornflakes and playing the bagpipe.
While I put my tilt on.
Oh, great. Beautiful. Perfect.
Oh, I'm not fucking traffic code as well.
Well, and we did the Harry Potter train yesterday.
Oh, no
And-
kidding.
And it was one of them. It was great. It was beautiful, brilliant. And there was a guy on there, and he had a kilt on, and he was German. Mind that. And then I realized there's a length for him. You know what I mean? Especially you're sitting. Yeah, you. There's a certain length for kilt.
There's a
Man.
certain level for him as well.
The length for his kilt and the length for his middle tail didn't quite match up.
Oh man, I can imagine. I don't know if you're big football fans. If it was tough not to come here for the World Cup, I know Chicago not having it this year, unlike '94, didn't help.
We ended up we went to Miami.
No
We got a
kidding.
lot of Scotland games, so we flew into Orlando and got the train into Miami for 4 days.
Well, it seemed like America. I mean, they kind of got pulled in. The really locked in. Not even necessarily to the game itself, but the fans coming from around the world. I can imagine you had a neat reception. Yeah.
They drank Boston Dry.
Drank it dry.
Right.
You know the first though, because we did it in Germany 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We were going into Munich and you couldn't get a beer because there none left. The boys say stairs to make 5 million litres a day and they were running out. There was 100,000 Scotland fans in Munich 2 years ago, just drinking it dry.
Well,
And that's what we do when we go and do 66. Drink them dry and stag and bush.
And and Sean, I've been over here for 4 days now, and I ain't got quite to that point, but yeah, I know they'll get me there.
So your liver's going to be hurting when you do
Yeah.
that.
wow, I'll tell you it just sounds incredible. How hard is it to get used to? I believe you're a left side of the road country. How hard is it to adjust to driving on the right?
Steve's not been sober enough to drive yet.
They won't let me drive.
I've done the driving for him.
And I figured out you don't sit on the driver's side in the back seat because that them cars are way too close. I think I'm going to go what we would call the driver's side in America. That's where you sit.
You mean the wrong side?
Yeah.
Yeah, the vehicle's a little different. You're not seeing like the SUV tanks and everything we're used to.
No,
So
5 years ago, I drove one. Well, we had an RV the first time, 3 times we were there, we had an RV, but the first time we drove the big one, it was like a V8 Super Duty Ford.
Right.
That's a big beast. It was like 8 ton. But you couldn't drive that over here. The roads are too small.
Oh, they're narrow.
And then,
Yeah.
does she can Rick in the bold? Rick?
Huh?
Rick?
No.
Rick gave me a show of his truck last time he was there. Oh man, you couldn't drive that here. It cost you too much. It'd be like your fuel compared to us. It'd be like a pound a mile
In the fuel.
in fuel.
That's
So yeah, you just keep having to fuel it up.
It's got Johnny come with you just to have you miles.
I mean, that's $1.18 a liter over here. $1.80.
wow.
$1.80 a liter.
See, that's the interesting thing. Back in 1980, we were all getting geared up in the schools. They were teaching us a metric system we were going to flip. And then at the last minute, they figured
Right.
they'd help with the trade imbalance and other things. And then just 1979, disco time. And we're going to stick
And
with
you're
the King's
right.
rules.
We just leave you with the inch and eighths.
And they don't refrigerate their eggs over here.
No kidding.
Yeah. They're right on the store shelf.
It comes out of Heinz Arsfault. It's staying hot.
It's already warm when it comes out.
Well, I can imagine, the food thing's completely different. I guess the town markets, farmers markets kind of situation, is that a pretty big deal?
No, they have a Tesco. It's like a Walmart, just a little smaller.
A mini Walmart.
Right. And they tried to get me the other night to eat haggis and black pudding, and I just can't bring myself to it.
Tommy did though. Fair play there, huh?
Yeah.
You think it's something like
And see, I guess maybe that's because, Sean, I know what's in it.
You got a little sheepish, huh?
Yeah, something's in there about my gonna eat. And Tammy ate it, and she loved it, but I just couldn't bring myself to it.
Yeah, and haggis isn't one thing, is it? It's done a million different ways, isn't it? Do I have that right?
There's a few different ingredients. And then it's not the original one with the sheep's stomach. But Steve, still a shitbag.
I'm not sheepish about it.
Oh, man. Well, when are you guys coming back to 66?
Well,
We're thinking about it.
yeah, we did say that we're going to come back out probably and see Steve and Tammy, but we haven't told the wives yet. But we did speak about it in the pub the other night that we think we've got one more stint in us. So
Maybe another 2-3 years, maybe.
Yeah. And I went to the Thistle, which is their pub, which is beautiful. I mean, it's that local small town bar. Everybody's friendly. And they put one on the wall for me, and they said, "Now you're local." And I left my jacket there 2 days ago. And so I'm thinking that's an excuse for us to go back to get my jacket.
It's just got to be neat because this conversation and everything else, I know America today, especially like I said, young people, hey, you can get Grubhub, order food, not leave the house, and you got kids playing video games for 12 hours, and obviously that's not healthy, and guys who don't ask girls out, and just like, they wake up one day, I guess 30, 35, like, wow, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And I can imagine It's been real refreshing. Not that Farmersville's like that, but I'm sure a little of that leaks in with the younger generation. Just how...
over here.
Yeah.
Right now it's like it's school holiday time. I got a 13-year-old. I took her fishing with Steve for the first time today. Because normally she sits at home on her tablet watching shit. So, yeah,
We got her out fishing.
It's the
She
same,
caught the first fish.
she caught the first one, the first ever fish. But it's the same over here as it is in America. They just want to sit inside and play computer games.
Yeah, I have to say I mentioned before we went on the my fascinations tied to Scotland. Not only Sean Connery, they put one of yours in the hospital. They put one of yours in the morgue. Now, how terrible is that? Not that he's trying to sound full blown. He's kind of trying to be a neutral thing. He's not being full blown Scottish. Because I've done it on the radio for years. But then my other thing about Scotland is I picture Scotland and I picture the eyes of Sheena Easton. I realize we're talking about a woman who's 62 now, and you know her.
That ain't old.
No,
That
but
ain't
as far as who she was, you know, and James Bond waving her hands, but to me she's still beautiful. But yeah, that. What are the other exports you're proudest of over there in Scotland?
Whiskey. That's it.
I have to say, those fans of the World Cup were a blast. And I guess what were you? Did you go to a Marlins game?
The tourist board.
Yeah.
So you got Scottish tourist board. You pay them millions every year. Just let us into every tournament and just deal with the tourist board, because I think the Scottish fans at the football, the soccer, they do a grand job themselves.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a lot of fun. Any final thoughts on just your experiences and what this has meant for you? And is Steve kind of like a celebrity? Like, hey, the American guys here, and people talk and pick your brain and all that stuff.
Like that, and it's amazing. And you know, I'm not no celebrity. These are my friends for life. I'm fortunate to know them. I'm so glad they came to stop in my place. And no, we're friends. There's no one above each other, and these are the best friends I could ever ask for.
We look forward to coming back to America and meeting you, Sean. And if you ever decide to come out to Scotland, you're more than welcome.
Oh man, well, I appreciate that. And
More than welcome.
I'll put myself through the haggis test before I get there. I'll go through basic.
I don't shout back at like Steve.
Well, it's illegal. It's illegal in America.
If you decide to come over, though, just try and perfect that Sean Connery accent.
Yeah, I'm a little rusty, to be honest. Well, and I would do Sheen Easton, but that would really be weird. But anyway.
I think it might be because of two thing. I think you're all right.
There you go. I like the spin. I like that. All right.
It's the tooth that's making it messed up.
Yes.
Nuts, no.
First they heard the roar of my cavity.
Oh my God.
Now they'll be stunned by my dentures. Yeah. Anyway, well, guys, I sure appreciate it, and all the best on the rest of your trip.
Yeah, and Sean, we appreciate it and we love it, and I'm so glad you picked this story up. And like I said, it can't be any better than this.
And Sean, see, before you go, can Steve just have his phone for a second? Can I get a shout out for my daughter? So that if she's, can you flip it back, Charlie?
Huh.
So that it faces you.
Oh. Hello.
Hello.
You wanted to say hi.
Wow, what an
So that's
how cool.
That's sure. So there we go. So that's my daughter. That's Charlie.
Hello.
Hello there. How you doing?
I'm going to take her and do Route 66 at some point. Just wait till she's 21 and can drink, although she'll probably drink in Steve's bar before. Or in Steve's tavern.
We can't put that up. Hey, that's what you're going to have to edit.
He's never served underneath it. 100%.
But she's
never going to.
Yeah, and she wanted to plug her TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Please.
What is it?
Charlie Lee. Oh, wait.
Charlie
Come
Lee
on,
08.
you're the professor.
Charlie Leo 8, cool. International. Going
Right,
international.
John, I really need to go and pee. So,
Oh, can we get video of that?
It's lovely to meet you, pal. Eh?
As you see here, the Scottish form of urinating is excellent. Anyway. Yeah.
John, I
Hey.
appreciate it.
I'll tell you what, I got a good souvenir for those guys if you're interested.
Okay.
I swapped out my Illinois 66 license plate for another. And I'd send that
Okay.
son of a gun right over to Scotland if they wanted it.
Yes, I'm sure they would.
All right, I'll follow
I'll
up.
get back with you when I get back in the States,
Okay.
and we'll talk and we'll have chicken.
Sounds good, my friend.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
All right.
Peace.
See you, brother.
All right. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.